Wind Down Wednesday is brought to you by Mila Eve Essentials. Visit MilaEveEssentials.com for 100% pure, therapeutic essential oils and other products. Nature knows best, and so does Mila Eve.
Back in the building.
Yay, we're back.
Kylie, I miss you.
I've missed you too.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. And I'm just like, and I know it's been crazy for you too. You've had a lot of projects going on as well. So yeah, nonstop stuff.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here, and I'm really excited because how long have we had this sangria?
I was gonna wait to tell him once he got on the screen, but I literally you said this way too early because it's been so tempting. I've been wanting to try this for so long. We've been talking about it on here for the last month or two, right?
Like, at least the last 3 weeks for sure. Not including the 2 weeks that we missed.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Chris just bought me. Come run this side, baby. Come run this side, please.
There's cords everywhere.
I don't want you passing me. All right, y'all. He done gave me ice and he put in he put ice in. He put some ice in a pot, and I'm trying not to look crazy right now. And he's trying to cross right over. Yeah, but look at this. It was in the sea. It was in there.
It's a nice pot.
It was nothing I could do at this point. You didn't bring me anything to scoop the ice out with. Oh, them darn kids. So listen, we're gonna have a very exciting night, and I love our topic because we're talking about expanding your mind, your brand, and your business. And a lot of us entrepreneurs out here, we need every bit of help that we can get when it comes to expanding and doing more for whatever it is that our vision, is when it comes to our businesses. So I'm really excited to introduce our next guest. His name is AT, and he owns Bass Note Sangria, which is what we're going to be sipping to tonight. And I just want to show y'all this beautiful picture, just in case you can't see it too well while it's sitting here. But oh my God, look how beautiful the bottles are.
So pretty.
I'm always a person where I'm like, if the packaging doesn't look cool, I'm probably not going to buy it. So when I opened the box and I saw all these beautiful colors, and I was just like, that got me ready to want to drink it too. Just seeing how beautiful the packaging is. It's really nice. Yes. And just so y'all know, for those who did take advantage of the sale, hopefully y'all are drinking with us tonight. Y'all going to be sampling with us tonight. But he so graciously gave us 25% off of the purchase of 3 or more bottles using promo code NFLM21. Visit bassnotesangria.com, and you have until June 19th to use that promo code. So as y'all watch us and y'all salivate while we sipping on these wines, y'all go ahead and visit the website, use the promo code, and get your entire life together. So welcome my next guest, AT. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, AT.
Hi, Monique. Hi, Riley. It's so great to be with you both this evening, and looking forward to sampling some sangria. Definitely want to talk to you about expanding your entrepreneurial businesses and how I did what I did and how it's still a work in progress, of course.
Yes, it's a beautiful work in progress. I love the color of the bottles. Now, before we get going, I have been wanting to ask you this.
Sure.
What made you choose sangria?
Great question. I worked in the beer, wine, and spirits industry for about 12 years at various companies. One of the companies I worked for was a custom label winemaker or private label winemaker. So we take what's called bulk wine, and we would label it for a retailer specifically or a restaurant. So if you wanted to have Monique's wine, at your restaurant or at your store. We would make it for you, create a label with you, create a design. It wouldn't have to be Monique's wine. It could be something. It could be like Chalk Hill or something, appropriate like that, or Potomac Wives or something along that line. And so you could do that, and then we would make it. And so from that experience, I learned that there's a lot of wine available from many, many, many vineyards, from really, really great stuff to why did you even make that? So there's a wide range, but a lot of it's good. And so we were able to buy bulk wine on the market from other wineries and then take it and combine it. And I said, what could I do with it? And so we really wanted to create a California-centric product. So we took the wine of California, blended it with the fruit and herbs of California, and really kind of just made something that was totally unique and very farm fresh in style as far as our product goes, and totally different from everything else that's on the market. There's nothing like our product in terms of our blends of fruit and herbs out there on the marketplace.
That was my thing. They're very interesting, the names, and people will hear when we get ready to taste them. I gotta tell you this. I have not been so excited to try something in so long. And it's crazy because I actually had to go out and go to the liquor store and get other alcohol so I wouldn't be tempted to open this bottle. I have been it's been sitting there. I'm like, oh my God. And I even thought to myself, like, could I just sip a little bit off the top and no one would know? I was like, no, I'm just going to wait. But I really have been so excited. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you what I have been trying, and I can't. You got to send me more of these because I don't want to run out. You sent me 3.
Lip balm.
Oh my God! I cannot stop. There's one in every bag. There's one in my makeup table. I put it on before I put my lip gloss on. It does not dry my lips out. I don't know, like everything else, like regular chapstick, dries my lips out. This is amazing, and it tastes so good. And I promise you, I'm not just. It's not just because you're on here. I love this. I really do. If this is anything like the wine, if this is even like the sangria, I'm like, everything's great.
I'm excited.
My wife uses lip balm like crazy, so I figured, what could we give to folks that they would find useful all the time, and we kind of go with the brand.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, lip balm would be really cool. So we frequently send lip balm to folks along with their wine orders.
Yeah, and I can't stop licking my lips because it tastes so good.
And Riley, I will send more out to you.
Please. Please.
Absolutely.
If you could have saw the text message conversation between me, Riley, and my project manager, Ashanti, when we first received the wine, and then when she told us, or the sangria, then when she told us how long we would have to wait. And then things happened, and then we had to wait even longer. But if you could have saw that conversation, we were like, wait, what? How long is wine supposed to last in this house? Like, I'm like, that is not going to make it. I'm going to have an empty bottle sitting up here.
We should get to it because it sounds like y'all have been waiting. I can't wait myself. I brought up a bottle of peach Tarragon to have for me. And so I'm going to have the peach Tarragon. I would highly suggest we start with this one because it's the lightest bodied one of the group. So we're going to pour a little out. I would suggest you serve it over the rocks or on ice, and then with whatever fruit you want to add to it. No fruit is fine, but if you have oranges, peaches, lemons, grapes, or anything else you'd like to add, please do, because that's always wonderful.
Don't judge me. I'm using my hands because my husband did not bring me anything to keep the ice out, y'all.
It's going in your body. It's fine. It's going in your body.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Also, folks sometimes like to add seltzer water or sparkling wine or other more fortified spirits if they so choose.
Okay.
So we're going to give this a quick sniff, but we are not going to be pretentious about it. And hopefully you'll be getting some off the nose. You'll be getting a little bit of peach. You'll be getting some maybe some citrus from the lemon in there. You may be getting a hint of the tarragon.
That's amazing.
We're going to take a little sip. Once again, the peaches should lead. You will hopefully get the wine itself in there with a little bit of acidity and some nice and some nice citrus flavors, maybe a little apple in there. And then the last thing is the tarragon should come through at the end, providing a little fennel, anise note to the whole thing at the end.
Oh my God. I can definitely taste the fennel because I actually have an essential oil that's fennel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm aware of that smell. And that is nice. Wow.
I gotta ask, how do you come up with these blends? Like how do you come up with that?
That's a good question. So before I worked for the wine company, I worked in the spirits industry. And so I'm a complete cocktail nerd, and I love making drinks, and I love hanging around bartenders who like to make drinks. And so all of these recipes were cocktails before they were ever sangrias. So the one that we're having right now, the peach tarragon, was a gin cocktail. The raspberry hibiscus was a vodka cocktail. The blackberry sage was a tequila cocktail. We got a watermelon basil coming out hopefully later this summer, and that was based on another gin cocktail. So it's all about those flavor pairings, and we just kind of replaced the spirits with wine.
Got it.
Is amazing.
Glad you like it.
I mean, I'm really impressed. Like, it's really good. And I'm not just saying that because you're here, because trust me, if I didn't like it, I would tell you. Good. It's really good. Like, I'm really blown away. My husband is the one, when we go to restaurants, he likes to get sangria every now and then. And my sister, she is very particular about her sangrias. Like, it has to be done right. I can't wait for her to come back in town. She just actually left a few days ago. I can't wait for her to come back in town because, matter of fact, I'm going to use the discount and I'm just going to ship her down because this is really good. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love it.
So good.
We try to keep everything in balance so that they're a little bit sweet, but the acidity's still there. The wine is still there. The fruit flavors are coming through. And we try to stay as true to fruit as possible. So the peaches are going to taste like peach. The raspberries will taste like raspberries. The blackberries should taste very blackberry-y.
Wow.
So good.
Amazing. Look, we were so excited about getting into sipping. I didn't even ask the audience what y'all were sipping on. Y'all were telling me though. I can tell, look, you can tell they've been here every week because they already know. I apologize, y'all, but y'all can go ahead and tell me what y'all drinking on too. And I hope it is Bass Note, because we've been posting this promo code for weeks. So Ashanti has hers and she's ready to go. So let's do it. This is really, like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's so refreshing. I'm imagining myself at the pool, having some sangria. And it's nice because it's a whole process to make sangria. That's why I never really got into it, because I like that this is easy. I can do this. I got chocolate no fruit.
Exactly.
And if you put a few frozen peaches in there and some frozen raspberries and threw it in a pitcher with some ice, no one would be the wiser that it came out of a bottle. You know, we do all the work, you do all the sipping. That's basically our motto right there.
Oh, we have another. Ramo said he has his. Yay!
Thank you, Ramo. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't remember if you said at the beginning. Yeah, I'm typing right now. So you asked about my cubes. They're made of metal, so they don't melt and they don't dilute the drink, because regular ice melts and it becomes water. So it's
I need that because I'm a slow sipper and I always water down my drinks because of it.
Yeah. You can order them on Amazon, but I actually got them at a party that was sponsored by Hennessy, and they gave them in a gift bag as a little thing. Yeah. So I had asked you, I don't know if you even said, how long have you been around?
Great question. We started in 2016 with small distribution out here. We're based in San Francisco, California. We make the wine down in Monterey County, in a town called King City, which is between Salinas and Paso in the middle of nowhere, California.
Wow.
But our office is in San Francisco, and we spend the majority of our time here in the Bay Area. And we started off with limited distribution in Northern California, doing all the deliveries myself. I should say ourselves. I'm like, who am I kidding? It was me.
Right. And I do that too, Amila Eve, because I literally do all the packing of the orders. Right. And I'm always like, we. I'm like, don't give much, it's me down here.
Yeah. Same.
It's just me with this packing tape and these boxes right here. And so that's that's how we got started in the Bay Area, and then we've expanded out of California into Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Iowa, Texas, Florida, DC, Virginia, Maryland, and we just got into Arizona and Nevada. And so we're getting around.
And it's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years. Yeah.
That's amazing. Look, I'm so impatient. I'm just a few months into my business and I'm just like, I'm ready to expand. And I can't expand until I have somebody that can help me pack these orders, because I can't take on more than what I can do at this point. I've not started marketing my company yet, just because I'm like, I need to create that foundation. So my question to you, how do you create that trust? Having somebody else manage or help in the management of your baby, your company, because that's where I'm struggling right now. Like every time I have other people help, not every time, but most of the time I have other people help, then orders are wrong, then I'm having to pay extra for shipping because I got to ship the right oil that they ordered, or they didn't get the oil. Now I'm spending extra in postage to send what they didn't get, or, so it's like, and I'm cheap. So I'm just like, I don't want to be like reshipping like every time. That's $8 and then $8,000. I don't want to take away from my profit, which is already a small margin because I made my products affordable, So how do you get to that point of just finding that person that can help?
It is tough. No one's going to be more invested than you. So you have to kind of go, all right, there's not going to be me again. I can't create that. And since you can't create that, you have to make sure that you're paying your people well. I know that goes against the cheap part, but paying them well.
I'm not cheap when it comes to labor.
She pays well.
I will take care, because I'm like, if I'm entrusting you in something, then I'm gonna make sure you're good.
Listen, I'll vouch for that. She pays well, even if you're her friend.
Incentivize them with bonuses that are tied to sales. Yeah. So make sure that their success is tied to the overall brand's and product success. And then the last thing I would say is train people really, really, really well. One of the things that's gone away from corporate life, I spent a lot of time in corporate America. One of the things that became less and less and less was that training aspect. When I first started, 25 years ago, working, training was really good at corporations, and it's become less and less and less. So the more you can train folks, the more you can put time into training, the more you can make operations repeatable. And I know that's hard because that's a lot of background work right there, but the more that you can make something repeatable without you being involved, the more likely it is to be successful. So, if you have a checklist of things that the person needs to do before they ship an order, and make sure they're looking at the checklist, then it's highly likely that order will go out correctly. I hope. It's about creating really good systems, and that's what corporations do. They create great systems that are replicatable. But it is challenging as an individual to do it. There's no question. So, look at other models where people have done what you're trying to do and see what they're doing. And that's like no one. I guess the other thing that really helps one be successful is the folks that they have in their network. You're only as good as your Rolodex. And so frequently enough, I'm trying to do something, or I want to move into a different packaging, or I want to do something else. And, it's like, do I have a guy or a lady for that? Do I have somebody who can do that job? And so you have to have a person who you can call and find out, what you need to do.
Yeah, and the problem with me is all of my friends are bosses too. Like Riley has her own couture line. Riley was helping me in the very beginning. I mean, she was helping me literally. We were in the basement. She's filling bottles of coconut oil, almond oil. Like we were down there, we have our music going, or we'd be watching the YouTube channel. And I would be doing the order. She's making the bottles. Then my household and project manager, Leaf, she'd be down here packing orders. and we had a nice rhythm. But Leaf is my project manager, but she also has her own business.
Yep.
So that's the problem when you got all of these boss behind friends, is because then they have to mind their own business, so they can't help me mind mine.
Absolutely.
But no, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna figure out a way to, even if I have to like make cards that just say do this first, then do that, you know.
Yep.
Because I'm so particular too, and that's an issue, and I'm gonna work on that.
Well, if you look at industries that are highly technical in their operation, like surgeons in the operating room or pilots, they all have checklists that they run through in order to make sure that what needs to get done gets done, and that everything is safe. Not that you have that level of safety concern, but the principle is the same. I need to get this, and this done. This is how it should go out. You know, it should have this piece of paper. It should have this, you know, brochure. These items need, you know, triple check. Have you checked the invoice 3 times to make sure what's in the box is actually. I worked in the restaurant industry years and years and years ago when I first graduated from college, and one of my favorite sayings is, "You only get what you inspect, not what you expect."
I like that.
So when you were doing receiving of something, if you didn't look through every box and make sure it checked against the invoice, you may not get, you know, you may end up with a whole bunch of crabs when you were expecting lobster.
Yes, I love it. Someone had a question for you. They said, how long does it take to make the wine?
Great question. The wine we buy, so the wine itself is already made, but the sangria takes about 2 to 3 days to make. Basically, it's kind of like you would do it at home. It's just on a much more grand scale. So we take the wine and we blend. We put in the juice and we put in sugar and we put in extract for the tarragon to get those flavors. And then we kind of let it sit around and get happy for about 24 hours. And we've got a little impeller that goes in the tank that kind of spins it around all night, so that it stays mixed. And then we strain it to get all the pulp out. And then we further filter it, and then we bottle it up.
Wow, that's a whole process.
Yeah.
Do you have
it doesn't take long.
Do you have like a warehouse, or how did, like in the beginning, where is it something like a kitchen situation, or was it even bigger, even from the start?
No, because beer, wine, and spirits are such a highly regulated industry, you have to have a correct facility to be legitimate, to be able to sell into retailers, to be able to sell through distributors. So we had to work within a winery. We don't own a winery, though. We have what's called an alternating proprietorship. Okay. Which allows us to be a winery within another winery.
Got it.
So now, I don't own any tanks. I don't own any pumps. I don't own any hoses. I don't own a bottling line. Yay. I just have a facility, you know, where we can use that stuff. We schedule it, and then we say, hey, we want to come in and produce on these dates, and we schedule it with their team, and then, you know, we kind of make it happen.
Got it. Now, I know that we actually had a guest on a few weeks ago who is a Black-owned company called Love Corkscrew. And I'm just wondering for you, if you had some of the same struggles maybe that she had being Black-owned, you know, like how difficult, or was it difficult at all to get into an industry where Black people owning wine or owning wine vineyards are the minority? Did you find any struggles with that?
There were struggles, but not because I'm African American. There are struggles because you're small, typically.
Wow.
Those are the typical struggles that people hit. And the industry itself is not reflective of the general population. So it's you know, like we're underrepresented in the industry.
Yes.
So as far as knowing other people, I mean, I've been in the industry for the past 10 to 12 years, so I do know a lot of people.
Okay.
But if you were coming into it from a different angle, you would be at a significant disadvantage because you wouldn't know the people. Just like whatever industry you go into, if you already know and have a whole bunch of contacts in that industry, you can get started much more quickly than if you don't know anybody.
Yeah, I like that because that definitely helps people who are minorities when it comes to this country as far as race. It helps to know that that's not always an issue. You know, it may just be that you don't know anybody and that you're a small business. And
Yes.
it's not because of the color of your skin. So that's actually encouraging to know and hear that for you to say that. And I hope that the people who are out there who are watching and listening can see that as well and maybe look at that perspective and look at that side of it and say, oh, okay, maybe it's that I need to really build up my Rolodex. And maybe also once I become bigger, then I'll be able to get on the same page as some of these other companies that have been around for a long time. So I love to hear that.
I would also say there's a huge capital requirement to go into it. I mean, you need the even if I make sangria tomorrow, I might get paid for it in 90 days. I might. And so that's the other thing is you have to make inventory that's going to sit on your ledger for a while before you can sell it. Yeah. And then you're going to get paid a delay in payment between the time you make it and the time you get paid. And so that's another challenge that you have to have inventory. You have to have capital to start your inventory production. And then you have to have somewhere to put it. And the whole industry is geared towards the large players.
Wow.
You know, the distributors pay attention to the Diageos, Pernod Ricards, Treasuries, Moet Hennessy's, folks like that, because that's where their bread is buttered. I mean, if those guys are saying, well, Diageo walks into Southern Wine and Spirits and says, hey, we make you $1 billion a year. You're going to pay attention to us? And Southern says, yes, we're going to pay attention to you because you make us $1 billion a year. And I walk in and I'm like, hey, I can make you like $20,000, $30,000. And they're like, but these guys are making us $1 billion a year. And so the whole structure is designed to support those large corporations, as are most things in the United States. However, on a positive note, and I will give some positive notes, there are many, many large corporations that are incentivized to work with businesses of color, businesses that are women-owned, businesses that are LGBTQ-owned, businesses that are veteran-owned. Places like Walmart, Target, Kroger all have programs to find, and in all parts of their organization, have programs to find folks of color and underrepresented communities so that they can put more things on their shelf and better serve the communities that they serve. Also, organizations are, because of some of what happened last year and just general awareness, we're also getting better opportunities for funding, whether it's venture capital or it's other folks. For example, Constellation has a really good program. They just picked up a gentleman who has a rosé wine, Lafette Rosé, I believe, or Vin Dufet, or something along that line. They just went in partnership with him. Uncle Nearest, which is sponsored by Jack Daniels, is putting up money and just put $1 million towards 2 different entrepreneurs, one of whom has been in for such a long time that it's amazing. The guy is named, he makes a product called Sorrel, which is a hibiscus liqueur from the Caribbean. And this guy started like 15 years ago and had to stop and is now getting funded again to put his product out again. So yay. So there are opportunities out there. You have to look hard and you have to understand who's got those opportunities.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Go for it.
Do you have any stories or things that you could share that maybe some mishaps that you made or some struggles that you had at the very beginning?
Yeah, sure. We had a fourth flavor that's not there, called cherry lime and almonds. which is actually my personal favorite flavor of the ones that we did. And it just didn't take off as well as the other three.
Mm-hmm.
And so we quashed it. And we're not going to make any more unless for some miraculous reason there's an amazing amount of demand or someone says bring that back. But for now, we're going to leave it on the shelf. And it was a learning of, okay, we're going to put out a whole bunch of, we put out 3 and then we came out with the raspberry later. And that outsold everything but the peach. So we had to make some decisions as far as, what you can't support it all and you can't always run a new flavor. It's a lot of work to put out your next product.
Oh my gosh.
Every time you put out, you're like, well, we've got these established channels of distribution, but we still need to get people to commit to buying the new thing.
Yes.
And so we lost the cherry lime and almonds.
Wow. Well, maybe you'll be able to bring it back down the road.
We could run it as a holiday thing. It's got some kind of mulled spice, kind of mulled wine vibe to it. So it's got that holiday kind of thing going. Yes,
I love these bottles. This is like a great gift. I think I'm gonna gift all my family a 3-pack. I'm gonna do that this weekend. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Not only because they taste so good, I want to support you because I just love hearing your story and this is amazing. I want to see you win. So yeah. It's so crazy with the whole product thing because, when people start to really become tied to your business or whatever your products are, and then they want more. And I get that a lot. It's like, oh, when you're going to do this and when you're going to do that. I'm like, look, y'all got to get all of this other stuff off the shelf right now before I bring out anything else that's new. I've turned my whole entire basement into a distribution center. And it's just been incredible to see something start and then to hear stories like yours. It's very inspiring for me personally because I'm like, okay, let me see what I have to look forward to 5 years down the road. How did you begin that expansion? What was the first step that you did? You're everywhere now. So it's it feels like when you started naming all of the different states, I'm like, geez, Lord. And then also another person, Nini, wanted to know, are there any particular stores that carry your bottles? So
you bet. So we're in a lot of Total Wine and More locations across the United States, including in DC and Virginia.
Oh, cool.
And Maryland. So those stores out there, we're at Total Wine in Florida, we're Total Wine in Texas, Total Wine in California. We're at Lucky Save Mart in California. We're at some Costco's down in Southern California. We're at and in other states we're in either independents or if they have Totals, we're at Total.
Okay, I love Total Wine. He's actually my neighbor.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm always like, why didn't you have any Total Wines in Maryland? We live here, so we have to go to Virginia to get Total Wine. So that's where I always go, either to Reston or to McLean, to the Total Wine there.
We're at the McLean location.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. That is good to know. But I'm gonna order directly from you.
Sure.
Since
actually, you know what? It would be better if you went to the McLean location and bought it.
Really?
Yeah, okay. Because one of the things that from a retailer perspective, they like nothing more than to have someone walk into the store and say, "Oh yeah, I heard about this on the on the Not for Lazy Moms podcast, and they said to come in and buy it at your store."
Oh, okay. And I'm wondering if you can direct from you would be better. So no, that's good to know.
I have to pay shipping on it if you buy it direct from me.
Then I can just pass it out.
And I've already shipped it to Total Wine. So I've already paid for that shipping. So
I'm
very happy to have them have sales and then have them call me up and be like, hey, we need more because Monique cleaned us out.
Yes, I'm about to clean you out.
So
and I have family coming in town this weekend, so I already know what we're gonna be drinking.
That's a good day if you go in there and clean them out, and make a show of it and say, hey, I heard about this on the Not for Lazy Moms podcast.
Yes.
They said to come. AT said to come in and get it. And that really helps. It helps a lot.
That little tip. Okay.
Yeah, I thank you for that because I know the manager there. So I'm going to have my assistant call and say, hey, we need to pick up da 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 da, and we're gonna give them the whole spiel. Yes, awesome. Oh, I'm excited. Thank you for sharing that.
That helps. And when you get to retail with your products, you'll realize that it helps a ton when people say, oh, I heard about this on such and such a show and I came to get it. Because that means you're working on the retailer's behalf and they want that to happen all the time.
Okay. Ashanti said they're having a wine tasting party, a wine tasting watch party, and everyone's loving Bass Note.
Thank you, Ashanti.
She said peach Tarragon is 11%. Yeah. Okay, because Joshua was asking what alcohol percentage. Okay.
Great question.
You want to discuss the alcohol percentages, and then I want to move to another one. I'm ready to
go. I literally poured just a little bit because I was ready to taste the other. And I don't know. I didn't want to be like Monique and have that whole thing and have to. So that's what's taking us so long to get to the next one. Girl, if you don't drink that.
No, and you know I'm a slow sipper as it is, and I'm not wasting it. So as he answers this question, I'm gonna finish it so we can move on to the next one.
To answer Josh's question, all of them are 11%. And we did that. That's most regular wines are between 12 and 14 or 12 to 16. So we're just slightly below regular wine. So
and Josh, he's my biggest fan.
Oh, good. It will sneak up on you after a while. So watch out. You know, I wouldn't drink a whole bottle myself. I'd get some friends.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, is to be social and to enjoy other people's company. Now that we can again, yay.
Yes.
So before we try the next one,
yep.
Can you mix them together too? Can you mix the three?
You can. I personally don't, but sometimes when we used to do events back in 2019, and we would do we did a lot of wine tasting events. We go to wine festivals, like Pebble Beach Food and Wine or LA Food and Wine or things like that. Sometimes people would ask us to blend them together. So you certainly can. It won't hurt anybody.
Okay. I was going to say, is it anything like mixing light and dark liquor?
It's just the flavors won't be as distinct. So, each one we're trying to emphasize a specific fruit flavor. So if you start blending peach and raspberry, the peach or the raspberry won't be as distinct, but together they're great. I mean, that's a good combination. You can't lose.
Billy. Hi, Billy. Billy said, I don't even drink, but I'm going to drive Riley to McLean to get it now.
Thank you, Billy. You're the best.
Billy, I love you.
Billy. Thank you.
Cheers. I know. To the next one. All right. What are we opening next?
What do we open next? Which one?
Raspberry hibiscus.
Which one?
Okay.
Raspberry.
The pink one.
Raspberry. Ooh, this is the one. I love pink, so
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, I got a trick for you, Monique.
Okay. Yeah,
so you know how you're having trouble with the cap?
Uh-huh.
So if you grab the bottle below the cap, right?
Yeah.
Down here, and you grab the neck, and then you twist the bottle, it'll release all the little.
Oh, the paper! The piece of the. Oh, that's so cool!
But you can create more torque on the bottle itself than on the little cap.
Oh, that's so cool!
I'll try it next time with the other.
You try it with the Blackberry; it works out great.
I'm gonna get some fresh ice. I'm gonna dump this.
I learned that trick years ago. I was like, "Oh, this is a good trick."
We're waiting.
All right, I'm gonna need that tutorial again.
So I'm gonna go from memory on this one right here. Let me see here. In the nose, you're gonna get big raspberries, no question. You might get a little bit of.
This one's really smell.
A little bit of the wine, little bit of lemon.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the taste, you're gonna get the raspberry note right up front. You're gonna get some white wine, lemon, maybe a little apple, maybe a little pear. And in the finish, you'll get the floral and some astringency from the hibiscus. And astringency is what makes you do this. When you make hibiscus tea, it's got a similar flavor to unsweetened cranberry juice or pomegranate juice are the two flavors that hibiscus has.
Oh, I promise you, I'm not just gassing you because you're on the screen right now. This is so good, and it was actually worth the wait.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh my God. I had to put the box in the basement because I was like, I'm gonna drink it if it's upstairs.
Listen, I attempted every day it was sitting in the wine rack of my refrigerator, and every day I would look at it like, I really want to try it so bad.
Oh, some other things that people may have questions on this. The wines are shelf stable, so when you first get them, you can just keep them at cellar temperature, which means don't keep them above the refrigerator where it's hot. So they can stay at cellar. I would suggest you drink them as soon after you get them. They don't cellar, so they don't you don't want to age them. They will not get better with age. So it's definitely a buy and drink scenario. You've got about a year, but I would say the sooner the better. And then
I love this. Wait,
and then
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Where did you come up with the name?
Great question. So I when I was working in the restaurant industry, I worked for the House of Blues in Cambridge, Massachusetts, at the original one back in the early '90s when I was a youngster, and it was a great experience. I got fantastic exposure to all kinds of cool musicians and great people who worked there, and it was a great musical education. And so I don't play, but I've always been a huge music fan. My parents listened to R&B and soul music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I grew up listening to disco. I grew up listening to all the old Motown / chess records / Stax. All that good music that we've lost.
Literally.
And so that's kind of the musical piece. And so when coming up with a name, I was looking at musical, themes. And when you name a product, as you may know, Riley and Monique, because you've both come out with products that you've named, it's not easy because a lot of the good names have been taken already. And you're like, well, I would have called it Forbidden Fruit, but some random winery in Michigan has that on a sub-label of one of their products.
Trust me, I get it. I went through several names before I just decided I'm going to use my own name.
There you go. That works.
Riley Muscator.
Yes, Mila Eve is after our baby's name. So we always have two names because whenever Chris and I would get pregnant, we wouldn't know the sex until we had the baby. So we always had two names prepared. So after Chase Omari came and we decided that we're not having any more kids, I said we're going to use the name that we reserved, and it's Mila Eve.
Yeah, there you go. For your last baby.
Yes. So my essential oils that's my last baby.
There you go. Yes.
No, this is really amazing. I can definitely see this being my poolside buddy right here. I'm gonna test it out this weekend.
No, good. That's the plan. I mean, we really wanted to have something that was an alternative to beer and regular wine, and kind of say, all right, could you have something? And by the way, ready to serve beverages are really blowing up as we speak. I mean, we're seeing a lot of different products coming onto the market, which is great for the consumer. And the ready to serve category is definitely coming up. We're seeing all kinds of folks that just want it easy and great tasting. And the good news is that the great tasting part is finally catching up to the convenience.
Yeah.
And so, and a lot of people when we go to events, they're like, I've never even seen sangria in a bottle. And I'm like, well, good. I'm glad you're starting with me.
Seriously. I would have thought it would be I thought it was too hard to make just because, you see them crushing up the fruit and all of that. Like it would be like this. I'm like, yeah, that's just not for me. But when Ashanti told us about Bass Note and I saw your page, I was like, wow, this is incredible because my husband, I can't wait to let him taste these because he's been waiting too. He's been waiting too.
Sure.
But I can't wait to let him taste these because y'all already can see the wine is getting to me. I have not had anything to eat since early noon. So, and I was supposed to eat before I got on live for my last show, but my computer screen broke and I had this whole situation happen and I jumped on late. So excuse me if I'm buzzed a little bit, y'all. I apologize, but I have not had anything to eat. But anyway, my husband can't wait to taste these because he loves sangria. He's a huge sangria fan. And he actually tried to make sangria before, him and my sister. They actually cut up a bunch of fruit and they didn't let it sit. And I was like, I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it.
It was just a garnish. That's what it was, a garnish.
It was a mess before it got started. So to have something that's already pre-made, ready in the bottle, and it actually tastes good, I can taste the freshness. And I'm not just saying this, y'all. Literally, I can taste the fruit. Like, it's amazing. I'm really blown away, honestly.
It is amazing, and I'm dying to try the next one now. But it's so crazy because the work is done for you. It's
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to think about, you don't have to sit and wait for it to, to make, like Tasha and Chris didn't do. So
there you go. Well, we spent a lot of time.
And I still was a little bit. Oh no, I'm sorry, but I'm saying I did eat several times today, and I'm still a little buzzed. So
we did spend a lot of time in development of all the products, and I've got a great commercialization guy, food scientist who lives in Florida, and I live in California. So every time we do anything,
fruit scientist.
Yeah, food scientists. So people who develop, like, every company who makes food has food scientists that work there. All the large, Nestle and ConAgra and all those folks have food scientists who work at those companies. And a lot of course, the alcohol companies have them too. Mm-hmm. And they work with flavoring houses, and they work on, understanding how things come together and whether or not flavors are going to work. So when you go and commercialize, I can make a gallon in my kitchen, but then, it's like, hey, we want to make 10,000 gallons. And that kind of, changes things a lot.
Heck yeah.
As far as the math goes, and just as far as flavors go. And we also had to make it safe. We had to make it so that it would stay, so that we get, it's got a little bit of sulfate in there to preserve it and make sure that everyone stays safe and that there's no, gross. Of course, it also goes through a biofilter before it's bottled. So, it's like 2 microns or something like that. So nothing alive is getting through, including all that good old yeast that was there before is not coming through. So, we make sure that, you got the food scientists there to make sure everything's safe and everything's FDA regulated. Everything's also regulated by what's called the TTB, which does all the spirits, wine, and beer stuff. And so that's where the food scientists come into play, and they do a great job keeping our food supply safe, which is what we want.
Oh, go ahead, Marley.
No, I was just a quick question.
Sure.
So do you still, like, secretly on your own in your kitchen come up with new flavors and ideas?
Yeah. I mean, we've got a pile of stuff that we could do.
Okay.
But the initial recipes are always like, I have to make a gallon of it in my kitchen. It's like, I have to take a bottle of wine and fresh fruit and go, is this going to work? Is this even going to come together? And there's definitely some of the experimentation in the first place. And we do spend time, just riffing on okay, are these flavors going to work together? There's a lot of great websites out there that talk about food pairings, so I'm like, okay, what herbs go with watermelon? And you're like, okay, well, basil goes, so we're going to do that one. Rosemary kind of goes, and that. So what works and what doesn't, and so you spend a lot of time on those kind of theories too, and try to think of good food pairings that'll work out. Peach Tarragon was not one that I thought of. This was actually the food scientist. He came up with the Tarragon part.
This is great. Now let me tell you. So I stopped eating meat over a year ago, and I cut back a lot of sugars and breads, and I don't do a lot of carbs. So I don't react well when things are super sugary anymore because of that, and I don't know what kind of sugar you're using here, but it's agreeing with me.
That's good. It's regular cane sugar.
See, yeah.
Sure.
It makes sense because as I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, so my husband and I went to a restaurant and we had some type of fruity drink. And as soon as I sipped it, it literally gave me such a sugar rush. My head was hurting. I was like, I need some water. I felt like I was about to pass out because I don't really do sugar like that anymore. I usually use agave if I am going to use any sweeteners. So I can tell that whatever you're using is top notch because it's not giving me that sugar rush, and I can tell that it's I can taste the natural sweetness of the fruit and I can, I'm really blown away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really am. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, this is great. Now, how long after I've opened these should I consume the rest?
I would say treat it like every other wine, and I would say about 1 to 2 days. And,
Okay.
And once you open it, put it in the fridge so that it stays a little longer. Now, I've consumed them after a week, and they're fine, but they're not as good. So, because oxygen's going to start to get in there, and it's going to start to break things down and start to change the flavors of the product. That is true. Mint does go well with watermelon, but gosh, is mint hard to get right. Like, geez, man, it's so hard to get right.
Why is that?
I'm gonna finish up on the how long it lasts, and then I'll get into a different topic of flavoring, or flavors. But about 2 days, and then things start to go downhill from there. So but don't guzzle through it if you can't finish it. Don't.
Yeah, well, because I normally wouldn't open 3 bottles at the same time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
We never let a bottle go to waste. I mean, as soon as we open it, we're finishing it. So
we'll make it the weekend. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to invite somebody over or something because I'm gonna drink this. Over, or I'm gonna be really drunk.
Right.
Next 3 days. Bottle a day, AT. I'm telling you, bottle a day.
There you go. So some flavors are harder to get true to fruit or true to flavor than others. Mint is a tough one. Watermelon's really hard because the flavor of watermelon's fleeting. Like if you've ever pressed watermelon juice or had watermelon juice, that stuff is good for about 10 minutes and then it's done. So getting the flavor of the watermelon right was tough. We had to use cucumber juice to get the watermelon rindy flavor because you want that like rind, right? But you also want the sweetness of the watermelon. You don't want it to go into Jolly Rancher.
I love cucumbers. Like I drink cucumber water. Like I literally have a bunch of bottles in my fridge with water, cucumber and lemon, and that is like my thing. I love it.
There you go.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
So getting flavors right is a challenge. Once again, why you have a food scientist on the payroll?
That makes sense.
That's
Never
why.
knew about food scientists.
So we should probably get into the last one before we run out of time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we have, but I didn't.
It's already over, and I'm not even mad.
Hold there,
grab it here, and then twist the bottom of the bottle.
And twist the bottle.
Twist it to the right.
Ah!
And it should release all the.
Oh my God!
That's smart.
Are you kidding me?
That cap should be loose now, right? Yeah, there you go.
Well, my hands are slippery now.
Oh, sorry.
So this one is the Blackberry Sage.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
Fresh ice.
So this one, unlike the other two, this one's made with a red wine base.
Oh, I'm probably gonna like this one the best.
And so this one
she's gonna love this one.
A more robust flavor.
The smell is stronger on this one
because of the red wine base. So if you like cabs and you like zins, then you'll probably take this one.
She's gonna love this one. This I can already tell.
Once again, the fruit flavor, the fruit listed on the bottle is going to come in right up front. There's going to be big blackberry notes in the nose. You may get a little bit of the sage on the nose. You may get some of those red berry flavors from the wine, like maybe some currants or dark cherry-ish flavors from the wine itself.
Yes, I can see
the smell of this one's stronger than the other one. I love it.
Yeah, that blackberry is no joke.
Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Every time I take a sniff, it smells different. I'm smelling something else, Oh my God. Okay.
She's gonna love this one. Taste it. It's so good.
So this one, the first flavor, of course, is the blackberries. Then you get into the wine.
That's the one. That's the one.
And then the sage comes through at the end and creates a little bit of a tannic quality of the whole thing, like you get in a big red. So you get those tannins from the sage.
Monique, that's your favorite one, isn't it? I know. I knew it.
Oh man, this is really good. Mm-hmm.
And I must say, this is our slowest seller, but it has it's got a cult following though. People who like this one really like this one.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
It's a little bit, it's richer. It would pair well with more robust foods like red meat or big cheeses like blue cheese or chocolate or other, rich desserts, it would actually stand up to them and not get lost.
Not gonna lie, this one might be gone by the end of the night. It might be completely gone.
I'm glad to hear it. Glad you like it.
Wow. Yeah, red wine drinkers for sure. This is definitely poolside. This is like I'm kikiing with my girls and let's just have fun. Like they're all great. I like all of them. They're amazing. Like I'm really, you're about to change my whole life with my drinking patterns.
And we really did try to make them different, as you're pointing out, because everyone has a different flavor profile that they like. So we're hoping that someone finds something that they dig in their, in the group of things. If you like things light and easy, go with the peach. If you like things a little more fuerte, then go with the blackberry.
I can see myself smoking my
cigar
27 80th anniversary Padron in this. Like literally, my cigar will go perfect with this. Yes.
So good. So good.
Amazing.
Wow.
This was well worth the wait.
No, thank you so much, ladies, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yes,
you can
absolutely.
get, Janet, to answer your question, you can get them from many Total Wine locations, depending on where you are. You can also get, in the worst case scenario, you can always get them direct if you go to the website, www.bassnotesangria.com, and go to the Buy It Now page, and order direct from us, and use the NFLM 21 discount code for 25% off of 3 bottles or more.
Yes, and make sure, it's perfect. Get at least one of each of these. Like, seriously, I say it's the whole vibe.
I hate to say it, but we are sold out of the raspberry direct. You may be able to find it at retail, but we're sold out direct.
Wow, okay, so I'm doing the Total Wine, and I'm going to get extra of these just in case.
Please do.
Y'all got to buy it from me. No, that's not legal.
I don't know a thing about that. I didn't hear it from you. I know nothing.
Oh my God, this has been great. Oh, you literally have opened my world. Anybody who follows this channel knows I'm an avid red wine drinker, and most times I hate having to drink something other than red wine, but I'm always open to taste and try. And you've blown me away. And I love the packaging. Like, this is beautiful.
It's really pretty.
And for y'all who are like who see it, it's actually like embossed. Like you can like feel. Like it's like.
By the way, if you look at the top of the cap, take a look at the top of the cap.
Oh, what is that?
I saw that.
That's a bass.
The bass note.
Bass note.
It's a bass clef. It's at the beginning of the musical staff, so that it indicates that it's the bass line of the music.
I love it. I used to play the alto saxophone and the flute.
Sweet.
So, I'm familiar with music.
Of course you did.
My kids how to read music. I love how you have the staff there. Because I've been trying to teach my kids how to read music. They're so corny. Into it.
Yeah, we made the labels super bright and colorful so that they'd absolutely stand out on the shelf. Normally a wine section is a sea of cream, and so cream colored labels, and so we decided to do something that was super bright and fun. And if you look at all of our marketing materials, they're all bright and colorful and kind of trying to, people get real serious with wine. And I respect folks who are really into it. And if you're into it, fabulous, do your thing. But we are not that. We are very much enjoy the product, enjoy yourself. Don't take it too seriously. Drink in moderation, please. And have fun with your family and friends.
I love it.
Are the lip balms for sale? Or are they just
why are we in these lip balms?
The lip balms. The lip balms are a promotional item.
Okay.
Really, we use them at events, and I send them to folks who are like influencers, like y'all. So
I'm gonna hide mine because the next time Riley comes over, they're probably gonna disappear.
Well, that's the thing though, because you can the taste and also I know this sounds really corny, but I wear a lot of makeup and I always put on lip balm before I put on lipstick or lip gloss. I don't just put it on my naked lip. Right. Everything dries my lip out. This is the only thing so far, besides another company, that doesn't dry my lip out. This is I'm telling you. Regular chapstick dries and I start peeling and everything. This is not.
So if I see a Not for Lazy Moms order, I will include lip balm. So if anyone makes a direct order and has the NFLM code on it, I will make sure they get lip balm.
That is so sweet. Look,
it's really nice.
And Robert, your supply is on you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, Not for Lazy Moms community. I'll get the perk.
Yay.
Thank you, Riley.
Do you have a favorite flavor of the lip balm?
The purple one.
Okay,
is it
the Blackberry?
Yeah, Blackberry. All right, cool. I'll send an assortment, but I'll send extra purples.
And it has SPF 15.
Thank you. I know, it's so good. I know. It sounds.
Hey, what is it?
Hi.
Hi.
This is Fuzz the cat.
Oh, Fuzz.
Yes,
So
his full name is Fuzz Lightyear.
Fuzz Lightyear.
Fuzz Lightyear. Yes, my son named him, of course.
Cece, you got here late, but let me tell you, we're drinking Bass Note Sangria, and it will change your life. And before we go, I'm going to pop up on the screen just in case y'all forgot. So hold on, let me get the comment out of there. Okay, Wine Down Wednesday, Bass Note Sangria sponsors this episode. 25% off of the purchase of 3 or more bottles. Promo code is NFLM21. You can get this by visiting bassnotesangria.com. And this promo code is available until June 19th. So we are so grateful because, I mean, this wine is epic. Test it out. Sangria is amazing. So, I mean, so long for the days of chopping up fruit and doing all of that extra stuff, letting it sit. Who wants to sit and wait?
No one wants to wait.
You don't have to. This is great. Oh my God. I'm about to take this. If I had to guess which one my husband's going to like the most, I think, I don't know. I think the Blackberry might be the one.
Have him try them all.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I am. I'm definitely going to. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to video him trying them all. Then I'm going to post it on my Instagram so people can see, because a lot of times, like, people think that wine, like, not everybody, but some people think that wine is like for women. And I'm like, no, my husband drinks red wine every night. Like, that's what we do. Like, it is so relaxing. It's so calming. It's so good. And it's fun. And I'm not a beer drinker. Like, I don't want to sit at the pool and drink beer. Like, I would much rather drink Bass Note Sangria. Like, this is about to be, y'all about to see a bunch of Instagram videos and stories. And I'm not lying to you. You're going to see this in every one when I'm at the pool. That is like the hardest thing for me, because I like to drink red wine, but I won't drink it during the day. So now I have an option.
You sound your thing.
I'm drinking.
I look forward to the poolside photos with the Bass Note in them, and everyone enjoying their beverages.
I'm about to blow up Bass Note.
Thank you.
Look at me and Bass Note. I'm like, oh, she's drinking that again? Yeah, go ahead and get it. I love it. This is great. Yeah,
we can use all the support we can get. Thank you so much.
You got it.
It's great to have folks, supporting and discovering our products and talking about us. It's really, really lovely.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
If y'all want the lip balm, you better use that promo code and stop playing. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. I have one last announcement to make. My husband and I are going to be doing a live event. Thank God we're allowed out the house now, y'all. So we're doing a live event with Kendra Scott in Reston, Virginia on June 10th, which is next Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to be hosting a live intimate discussion on parenting, marriage, and keeping it all together. And Kendra Scott is launching their new menswear line just in time for Father's Day. So make sure you check it out. Come out. It is a free event. You can come, show up, meet me and my husband and everyone else, have some fun on a red carpet, take pictures, browse and shop. 20% of the proceeds go to the Chris Hammonds Foundation. And also I'll be signing my book, Potty Training Mommy and Daddy, since I did not get an actual launch because of quarantine. This is my official launch and book signing. So it's going to be fun. So go ahead and
be there.
Yay! And make sure y'all visit notforlazymoms.com. We have the link there if you want to RSVP and sign up because the space is limited. So go ahead and sign up and we will see you there. AT, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, honestly.
Ladies, thank you for having me.
So
I appreciate all the time, and I love being on the podcast. And
Thank you.
I'm happy to answer questions. By the way, you can certainly reach us through the website if you have questions about the product or you have questions about where to get it.
Yes.
We'll be happy to answer those questions. And and by the way, because we're such a large operation, that goes to me too.
Yeah.
Not only me packing up the boxes, but those questions go to me. So if you have questions, please definitely hit us up through that or through Instagram or Facebook or however you want to reach us. We'll be happy to answer questions and help you out.
Thank you. Awesome. This has been so amazing. Thank you for your wealth of knowledge and for allowing us to see some of your journey. This has been really good. And it's been inspiring for the entrepreneurs out there who are trying to take it to the next level. So keep doing you. We'll keep supporting you. That's what we're here for. That's what this community is about. So once again, thank you so much. And we will see you all next week. Take care.
Cheers. Thanks, Monique. Thanks, Riley. Bye-bye.
Thank you, AT.